Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. I hope you're having a great morning this morning. It is Monday morning, as always, coffee kind of morning. Life happens. Coffee helps. Um, this is not a BCLT review. It's not a album to discover series review. But it's definitely an album that I have to review, and I hope I do it justice because this artist is one of the tops. So a couple weeks ago, I won a contest from Jeff at Mega Jeff's Rock Hard Vinyl, and what he sent me is remarkable. So again, I hope I do it justice, and it's encouraged me to get more of this artist's albums. I've got 5 of them now, but there's more to get. So what he sent me and what I won is a sealed copy of Jackson Browne's Late for the Show. Truly a remarkable album. And so, again, I hope I do it justice when I talk about it. So, again, thank you, Jeff, for that. Love you for this. You've got a great channel. You're amazing. And I'm so happy to have this to add to my collection. So it's only Jackson Browne's 3rd studio album. So if you think of it at the time, 3 albums in, and this guy's just hitting his stride as a singer-songwriter. It was a Grammy Award nomination, and also it peaked at number 14 on the charts upon its release. In 2021, it was deemed critically and culturally and aesthetically significant by the Library of Congress. 3 albums in, and you're being deemed by the Library of Congress as aesthetically and culturally and historically significant. That's for me. That's just amazing. The album was only completed in like 5 or 6 weeks, and at $50,000. Can you imagine production today for an album like this? Especially with all the guest artists that he had on all of his albums. He's got some amazing guest stars on the majority of his albums that I have anyway. Some great vocalists that backed him up, like Dan Fogelberg, Don Henley, J.D. Souther. I mean, just the top of the heap. The title track, Late for the Sky, was used in the film Taxi Driver. Awesome film, Robert De Niro. Before the Deluge was covered by Joan Baez. Walking Slow and Fountain of Sorrow were both released as singles, but they didn't do all that well in '74. I think today, because they're fantastic songs, I think they'd probably do better. But this album definitely grows on you, and as you listen to it, it's just, you discover so much. When Jackson Browne was nominated and inducted, in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Bruce Springsteen's speech, who inducted him, called Late for the Sky a masterpiece. And it definitely is. It's been named not 594 of 1,000 best albums of all time, 372 out of 500 on the Rolling Stones albums of all time, and was certified platinum in 1989. I mean, just, I can go on and on and on this. It's basically an autobiography of his life, from his youth to the painful adjustments as an adult. Also, when he was in youth, he was kind of a non-caring youth. So he wrote songs about that, and then, you go from a youth to an adult, and there's all these adjustments, all these painful adjustments you have to go through, and that's what he wrote a lot on these songs. There's only 8 tracks on the albums. The songs are personal. They deal with fantasy and reality in erotic relationships. They deal with affairs, former lovers, death, and rebirth. It's deep. It's a deep album. The first time you listen to it, you don't get that, but the more you listen to it and the more you concentrate on it, yeah, it's just an amazing, amazing album. Um, I think I don't know. It's one of his best, I think. Um, some of the other albums I have by him. I don't have his first album. I have to get his first album for sure. But I have his second studio album, For Every Man. This is on the Asylum label. I love these new sleeves I got too. They really make an album pop. Every Man hit number 43 in the Billboard's 200, and the single Redneck Friend peaked at number 85. And it was ranked number 450 on the Rolling Stones top 500 albums of all time. I mean, this guy's in every chart, every every ranking. It's just Jackson Browne is so good. It was the first introduction of David Lindley, and I think that changed Jackson Browne's sound forever. David Lindley is a multi-instrumentalist, amazing guitarist, slide guitarist. Lots of guests on this one as well. Pardon me, David Crosby, Glenn Frey, Elton John, Don Henley, Joni Mitchell, Bonnie Raitt, who appears on a lot of his albums. Bonnie Raitt, definitely an association there with Jackson Browne. But what a what a great album to go. So to go from this awesome album into the third album that talks about life and the transition between youth and adult is just pardon me, is just remarkable. And I have to listen to this one more. As much as I listen to this one most of the weekend. I've got to listen to this one more to delve more into it, because I know there's hidden stuff that I haven't even dug into yet. And that's the thing about Jackson Browne. The more you listen to him, the more, and if you focus on the lyrics, then you're gonna just be outstanding. Just picked this one up as well as the second one last week. So I picked up The Pretender. Another amazing album. It's just the album's kind of iconic. He's walking, in the midst of all these people, and kind of looks like he's by himself, even though he's surrounded by people coming at him, people walking with him. Just the way he's dressed, he's almost like he's by himself. Maybe he's pretending to be someone he's not. I'm not sure. Fourth studio album by the band, 2 great singles. Here Comes Those Tears Again and The Pretender. Amazing song, The Pretender. Title track was used in the film Mr. Holland's Opus. He's had a lot of soundtrack songs featured. Lowell George from Little Feat plays some slide guitar in one of the tracks. Albert Lee is on guitar. Jeff Porcaro from Toto is on drums. Bonnie Raitt again on backing vocals. Don Henley, J.D. Souther, David Crosby, Graham Nash, all on backing vocals again. Just remarkable stuff. And it's a great album. I'm just trying to go through my notes here. yeah, getting back to, I'll talk about that in just a second. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So yeah, awesome, awesome stuff. Um, One of my favorites, Running on Empty. A remarkable, remarkable album. So good. 73 release, fifth studio album by Jackson Browne. It's about life on the road. Um, and the entire album was recorded on tour, either live on stage in the tour buses and hotel rooms. Hit number 3 in the charts. Um, Features the big hit, the title track, Running on Empty. And one of my favorites, The Loadout. I think that the Loadout song is one of his best songs. I don't know, just the way the introduction, the piano, how it builds and grows. Remarkable stuff. It received 2 Grammy nominations for Album of the Year and Pop Male Vocal Performances for Running on Empty. And so we go from that from 1977, and I'm missing a couple in between, but then you go to Lives in the Balance, 1986 release. This is the 8th studio album by Jackson Browne. For America and In the Shape of a Heart were the singles off of this one. Hit number 23 in the charts, and number 88 on the Rolling Stones Best 100 Albums of the 80s. There's more political and social critical songs on this one, and the song Life in the Balance was used in the show Miami Vice. Again, another soundtrack song. It wasn't necessarily a commercial success, but Jackson Browne liked it just as much as anything else that he's done. It's just, he didn't really care at that time. He was at his peak. He didn't really care, and I don't really care what the critics think either. But they didn't like it. The critics didn't like it because the fact that it was critically directed at politics and society, and they felt he shouldn't be going in that direction. Who cares what they think? But Jackson Browne, again, didn't really give a crap. He was writing about people and how they are affected by politics and society, and that's what mattered to him, is how people are affected. He didn't care what the critics thought. He was going to make an album whether the critics liked it or not, and that's, critics just, they have a job to do just like anyone else. Whether you like them or not, who cares? Bonnie Raitt again on this one, backing vocals. Steve Lukather from Toto plays some guitar in this one. Ian McLaughlin from The Faces, some piano on this one, and amongst other great artists. So again, this guy is just remarkable stuff. So Jackson Browne is a true artist. I think he's right up there with the top artists like Joni Mitchell and Neil Young and Bruce Springsteen, and that group of writers, artists, performers. And he's truly iconic, and I think he's amazing. And I know I'm not going to do this one justice, but this album here, Late for the Sky, is an emotional album. It's relative to today because society's going through a crap hole, and I think it's relative, and this stands up today for sure. We're all living in the unknown and trying to figure things out. We all experience loss and change, uncertainty, and that's what this album talks about as well. And basically how to, hopefully it helps the more you listen to it, and you should listen to it. Hope it helps you turn a bad situation into a good situation by just enjoying and listening to this album. And that's where music can help you do that. Music is therapy. Music is something you need after a bad day or a good day. It's emotional, and we're all going through the same crap in our lives because of what's going on in the world, and we need stuff like this to enjoy and listen to. So again, Mega Jeff, thank you so much for this amazing album, and I'm gonna truly honor it and hold it dearly in my collection for sure. Anyway, guys, I hope I did Jackson Browne justice, and we'll talk to you later. Love you guys. Bye now.